Even retired persons can do a Roth conversion, but is it right for you? And if so, how much? Roth Conversions, that's the topic of today's video. Roth IRAs, contributions, conversions, they're not the same, and it can be difficult to know which is right for you. The most important thing to keep in mind with a Roth IRA is once the money's in there, provided you use it the right way, it's never taxed again. Uncle Sam's not a silent partner with you on this money anymore. A lot of folks that I meet confuse the rules with conversions and the rules with contributions. So it's important to realize that there's two different ways you can put money into a Roth IRA. When you're adding new money to a Roth IRA out of your checking or your savings, or maybe it's being automatically deducted from your paycheck, that's known as a contribution. There's a set of rules around contributions. If you're moving money from an existing IRA or 401k, 403b, or 457 plan, that's a conversion. And the rules around conversions are quite different. So I'm here to help you learn the difference between contributions and conversions so you can use them to your best advantage. The rules regarding a Roth contribution are you have to have earned income, either you or your spouse. You're not allowed to save more in a Roth IRA than you have in earned income. So if you have a spouse that makes, let's say, $5,000 a year part-time, and you're fully retired, combined, the two of you are allowed to save a total of $5,000 into a Roth. Now there's also an upper limit on contributions into a Roth as far as income goes. You can actually make too much money where the IRS won't allow you to save in a Roth IRA. And that's a good problem to have. Now for single folks, the amount of money that you're allowed to earn before they start telling you you cannot save money in a Roth is $122,000 a year. Now if you're married, you and your spouse are allowed to have combined income of up to $193,000 before the IRS starts to reduce or limit or pull back how much you're allowed to contribute to a Roth IRA. So what does the IRS consider income? Well, in terms of earned income for being able to save new money into a plan, they do not count pensions that you get through work. They do not count IRA withdrawals. They do not count Social Security. So if all of your income sources is things like deferred compensation, withdrawals from IRAs, pensions, Social Security, well then you're not considered to have any earned income and you're not allowed to save anything in a Roth IRA. Now in terms of the upper income limit, where you could actually make too much money to be allowed to save in a Roth IRA, they consider all income sources. So it's all of your earned income sources plus all of your passive income sources. So you have to have some earned income, but all of your income combined cannot be too much. There's a bit of a misconception out there as well, where folks believe, well, my husband and I, we're over the age of 70 and a half, so we can't add money to a Roth IRA anymore now, can we? But that's actually not a restriction. If you're still working and you're still earning an income, it doesn't matter what age you are, you can be over the age of 70 and a half, heck, you can be over the age of 100 and a half, and you can still add new money to a Roth IRA. So how much can you save in a Roth IRA? You can save 100% of your earned income up to a maximum of $6,000 per year per person if you're under the age of 50. If you're over the age of 50, they allow you to catch up and save a little bit extra in your retirement plans, and the Roth IRA is included in this. If you're over the age of 50, you're allowed to save 100% of your income up to $7,000 a year in a Roth IRA. So if you're able to save $6,000 or $7,000 a year in a tax-exempt account, over time it really builds up to be a wonderful bag of tax-free money for you in retirement. Now, a Roth conversion is different than a Roth contribution. A conversion is when you take money from an existing IRA or 401k or 403b or 457 plan, and you change it from that pre-tax qualified money into the tax-exempt Roth money. The rules regarding a conversion are quite different. You can be any age and you can be any income level and still do a conversion. So you can be 18 years old or you could be 81 years old and still be able to do a Roth conversion. You can convert as much or as little as you want. You can convert your entire life savings that were in those qualified accounts, or you can convert just $100. It's up to you and what's right for your situation. You can also be any income level. You could have no income at all, or you could have over $1 million a year of income. It doesn't matter. Whatever income level you're at, you're allowed to convert qualified IRA money into tax-exempt Roth IRA money. So what should you be thinking about in terms of how much, if anything, you should convert? Well, it really comes down to this one simple thing, and that is, will taxes be higher in the future than they are now? At whatever stage of the game the taxes are lower, that's when you want to pay the taxes. Now, if you're not really sure, it probably wouldn't hurt to go ahead and convert some money now. There's two reasons why I say this. First, we know that we're in a window right now of lower taxation. We've got the new Trump tax laws, and they're scheduled to sunset at the end of year 2025. So that means the rates go back to the higher rates from before he was president. In addition to that, if you never get around to spending all of your IRA money, never spending all of your 401k, 403b, or 457 money, chances are you might accidentally leave an inheritance to your kids and grandkids. That inheritance, when it comes from these qualified pre-tax types of accounts, can be very costly. The income taxes can explode upon those types of accounts, and your kids and grandkids could find themselves in the highest possible tax bracket. It could be 37% or even as high as 39.6% at some point in the future. So it might make sense to go ahead and pay the taxes now and convert that money to a Roth so that it will be income tax free when they inherit it if you should happen to accidentally not spend it all. So what is best for you? Well, generally speaking, you want to convert as much as you can at this time without putting yourself into a higher tax bracket. Now, sometimes I'll hear from accountants and from clients where they'll say, well, Matt, I think that's a bad idea, because why would I pay the taxes now when I could let that money continue to grow and compound year after year and then pay the same rate of taxes in the future? Well, chances are future taxes will actually be higher than current taxes, but even if the rate is the same, it still makes sense to go ahead and pay the taxes now because you're not hurting yourself. Here's a quick example. Let's say you've invested $100,000 and it's currently in an IRA. That $100,000, let's assume it grows at a 5% tax rate. So $100,000 growing at 5% per year compound would grow to $105,000 after 1 year, $110,250 after 2 years. At that point, if you decided that you wanted to withdraw money from your IRA, you would owe a 12% tax. Now, for sake of simplicity, let's assume that you decide to pull all of that money out and it's all taxed at the 12% rate. After you get done paying tax, you'd have $97,020. So you have to remember that Uncle Sam has been a silent partner with you on that money all along the way. Now, the reason why you might want to consider doing a Roth IRA, even if it would be at the same tax bracket, is to get those taxes out of the way now, just in case. So let's say you take the same $100,000, but now it's post-tax, you're not getting a write-off, and your advisor suggests, because you have no income this year, to go ahead and convert it over to a Roth IRA. You would owe 12% at this time, which means you'd be starting at $88,000. Now that sounds less good, but follow along with the math. The $88,000 earning 5% a year goes up to $92,400 after 1 year, and the same $97,020 after 2 years. So you end up with the same number at the end of the math, it's just you got the taxes out of the way now. And if rates go up in the future, or if you pass this money on to your kids, it's a lot better for you to have taken care of the taxes at this time. So let's use our same example again, but let's say taxes go up. It's year 2026 or beyond, and the 12% bracket is no longer the 12% bracket, it's now the 15% bracket. So even though you've got that $110,250, now when you make the withdrawal, you owe 15% on that, not 12, and you're at $93,712.50 after you've finished paying the taxes. So in that scenario, even though it's just a couple of points more of taxation, you can see that it makes a lot more dollars and cents for you to go ahead and pay the taxes now at the 12% rate, so as to avoid the 15% rate later. You end up with a better rate of return after tax because you got rid of the silent partner of Uncle Sam now. If the money's currently in the IRA, it's in some type of investment. Remember, an IRA is simply a bag into which you place your investments. The same thing is true with the Roth. The Roth IRA is simply a bag that holds investments. It's just taxed a little bit differently. So you could have the same investment inside your IRA, which is now the same investment inside your Roth. So you haven't changed your overall rate of return, you've changed the way the taxes work. So you might say, Matt, why would I want to have $88 in a Roth IRA instead of $100 in a traditional IRA? And as you can see, both are invested in the same thing, both are growing at the same rate. But on the traditional IRA, you haven't paid the taxes yet. That liability is not accounted for in your statement. So it might look like you have more money, but actually you don't. With the Roth IRA, it's all post-tax money, money that's all yours. Uncle Sam has been paid off on this. He's no longer a silent partner on that. So at the same level of compounding, given paying the taxes now at 12% or paying the taxes later at 12%, you end up with the same number. But I don't think the tax bracket's going to be at 12% forever. I think it's going to jump up to 15% according to the current tax laws in year 2026. And that's why you want to consider paying some of the money taxes at 12% now to build it so you'll actually end up with more when it comes time for retirement. So you might say, Matt, why wouldn't I want to convert everything right now? And the reason for that is by converting everything all at once, it adds on to whatever current income you have, and you can actually stack up to a higher tax bracket. It's all about paying taxes when it's lower. So if you convert too much, you'll actually jump into a higher tax bracket. So instead of paying 12% at this time, maybe you pay 22% at this time. So you paid 22% taxes now to save 15% taxes in the future. That's not sound math, that's not a good deal. So you want to pay taxes either now or in the future when they're at the lower rate. So the concept of a Roth IRA conversion is how much can you convert each year without jumping into the higher tax bracket, so that you have a much better chance of having more money at the end of the day for you in retirement. So any confusion around Roth conversions? Not sure how much you should convert, if anything at all? Not quite sure which tax bracket you're in? Well, that'd be a good reason to reach out to us. You can go to our website at taylorretirementservices.com. You can send me an email. My email address is matt@taylorretirementservices.com, or give me a call. My phone number is 1-800-482-4720.